Hello students. Today one new concept I am going to discuss, that is hypergeometric distribution. This is the next distribution. Already we have completed Bernoulli, binomial and Poisson distribution. This is another discrete case distribution. So here I would like to explain about I would like to give about little introduction. See, in statistical theory, this hypergeometric distribution has a prominent role. Usually it applies to sampling technique, that too without replacement. See guys, we have seen sampling technique are of two ways. One is with replacement or without replacement. Definitely theoretical distribution, one of the important branch is a sampling technique. So here also it applies to sampling without replacement from a finite population. That's why I had mentioned it is very clearly is a discrete case, because finite population we are considering here. So it applies to sampling without replacement from a finite population whose elements can be classified into two categories. I hope do you remember association of attributes. There in first PUC we learnt about the attribute, one which possesses a certain characteristic, one which do not possess a certain characteristic. That means, say example, in a population there are male and female, and then smokers, non-smokers, educated, uneducated, employed, unemployed. So many characteristics we have. Now out of these characteristics, this sampling without replacement technique from the finite population whose elements are being classified into two categories, one which possess and one which do not possess. See here, for instance, smokers, non-smokers, male, female, etc. Now let us have one small illustration. N random selections have been drawn without replacement from population. Whenever a random sampling you are picking, you might be remembering about lottery method. See, lottery method, some set of slips are being kept in a bowl, randomly selecting one chit subsequently, and individual chit may not be repeating in the bowl which are remaining chits. So that is nothing but each subsequent draw, it is dependent. So result depends on the first what you pick, and the second what you pick, and the third what you pick. So whenever you draw the selection randomly, individually, whenever you are not replacing it back, definitely the selected item is being showing the impact on the remaining items. Suppose the first sheet you have drawn, that is not a lottery number, over that number may not be repeating in the bowl. So subsequently another draw you will be taking it, even that is also different number you will be getting, because first one you have not replaced. So there is no possibility of getting the same number whenever you draw second time. So that is the meaning. When n random selections are drawn without replacement, underline this, without replacement from the finite population, each subsequent draw is dependent and probability of success changes on each and every draw. So the probability keeps on changing it. For example, there are 4 chits in a bowl. One chit you have drawn, the possibility is 1 by 4. Second chit when you drawn, the possibility will be 1 by 3 it will become. Third possibility if you take, still only 2 are remaining, so it becomes 1 by 2. So this way, whenever you select the chit, the probability keeps on changing it, because you have not replaced it. Clear? Now this kind of situations we use hypergeometric distribution. Purely it depends upon the attributes, like characteristics which possess and which do not possess, depending upon the question which is asked, possibility or probability which is asked. Suppose male and female are there. If you want to select some male, then possibility of getting male individually when you select one male from the group, definitely the probability keeps on changing on selection of individual male person. Clear? So here male and the remaining, even in that in that group, male also included as well as female also included. When you want to select only the male, then you have to take the category which possess particular characteristic, that is a male. Which do not possess means, which do not want means, that is girls. I hope you are clear. So this kind of concept we call it as a hypergeometric distribution. So let us have some conditions characterize the hypergeometric distribution. Look at here. Conditions characterize the hypergeometric distribution. Point number 1, it is been divided into 4 set of conditions. Condition number 1, result of each draw can be classified into one of the 2 categories. Just now I gave you male and female example. There are male and female set of students in a group. When you want to select only from the male team, then whenever you draw the male person, so probability keeps on changing on individual selection. That is one thing I said you. At the same time, here male and female only you are categorizing out of 2 things, 2 characteristics there. So result of each draw can be classified into one of the 2 categories. When male and female are there, question it is asked about only male, so we want only male characteristic out of 2 characteristics, out of 2 categories. So that is the first one. Result of each draw can be classified into one of the 2 categories. Second one, the probability of success changes on each draw. That is also same kind. So because we are using without replacement, that is the third point. Successive draws are dependent as they are made without replacement. You are not replacing an item back. Obviously, whenever you select anything, that probability keeps on changing in subsequent draws. So that is a third point, as it is made without replacement. And the fourth one, the draw is repeated for a fixed number of times from a finite population. So fixed number of times a draw is repeated from a finite population. Now these are the 4 conditions which are categorized in hypergeometric distribution. So result of each draw can be classified into one of the 2 characteristics. So only one you are depending on, because others which do not possess, which do not require. Okay, only one out of 2 categories you have been resulting on each and every draw. Second point, the probability of success keeps on changing as the selections are made without replacement. So that is the reason. See, 2 and 3 points are quite relevant points. Point number 4, the draw is repeated for a fixed number of times from a finite population. So here some fixed number of times the draw is repeated from a finite population. These are the 4 points. Just you can have a look. See, look at here example. Urn contains set of white balls, set of red balls, and n samples are drawn. N balls are drawn at random. So you have to select a sample from the urn which contains both white as well as red balls. White is considered as A and red is considered as B, and this is a urn. It contains both white and red balls. N balls are drawn at random from this contain. So this n may be a red ball or maybe a white ball, but what exactly the possibility, the successive draws are asked, are being taken. Suppose I want only white, so white balls only we need to observe here initially, and then the which do not possess, the remaining ones would be the red balls obviously. So in an urn, set of white and red balls are containing n balls are drawn at random, in that x white balls can be drawn from ACX ways. See here, this is a urn, n sample. Suppose this urn contains 8 balls. In that 5 white, 3 red. So your random selection, the probability you need to find out only about white balls. Now let x number of white balls can be drawn from white only. No, white becomes A here. So ACX, x number of balls are drawn from A balls, A white balls. So that's why the possibility is given ACX ways you can select. And whatever the remaining becomes n minus x, because random sample n you have selected. When you want, in that there are 3 whites, suppose, obviously the 2 will be the red only, no? So from this n sample you need 3 whites. From this n, say example 5 balls are selected from 8 balls. So what I am thinking here, n is 5 balls are selected, no? In that, what is the possibility of getting 3 at least, or 3 balls? Possibility of getting 3 means the other ones would be red only, no? So that which do not possess the characteristic, so that would be the remaining one. Okay, so here look at here, ACX, A is white because we need white balls ways, and the remaining n minus x red balls can be drawn from B set of red balls. See, this kind of problem we have seen many times in probability. You might be remembering favorable cases, exhaustive cases, which are happening to be an event. That would be the favorable. The total number of possible ways, that would be the exhaustive event. See here, the remaining reds are B, no? And the remaining means out of n selection, remove that white selection. So n minus x, remaining would be obviously red. So ACX, BC, n minus x, A white. So suppose, so I'll show you one diagram clearly, you will understand. This is the bag. 10 balls are there. In that 6 white and 4 red balls. 5 balls are drawn at random. This is n. What is the probability of getting in this 5? 3 are white. They are asking 3 are white. Now these 3 are white, in the sense, how many whites we have? 6 white. How many balls you have selected? 5. In that 3 white means obviously 2 will be red. Now just take it 6C. How many whites you want? 3. But selection how many we have done? 5. Only 3 we took it as white. Then the remaining from red C combination, n how many out of 5? 3 are already completed. So this kind of way here I have written, if you see. So n balls can be drawn from the total. This is exhaustive. From the total n balls are drawn. That is the exhaustive case. A plus B, C, n is the total number of possible cases. So the probability of getting x white balls out of n, x must be x must be less than n. So this is the formation ACX BC n minus x whole divided by exhaustive cases A plus BC n. So this is the introduction of hypergeometric distribution. Now look at the definition. If x is a discrete random variable with probability mass function p of x equals to ACX BC n minus x, that is a favorable, divided by A plus B C n, that is exhaustive, total cases, total possible ways, where x equals to 0, 1, 2 and so on, minimum of A comma n. So here minimum of A comma n, because A is the main possible parameter which we need to identify initially, A. B would always be the alternative, I mean the other characteristic. Suppose out of 5, when 3 are male, obviously 2 would be female only, no? So that's why A is the main characteristic which we have to possess. B obviously the remaining ones, because A case why I have considered only A is, so the x number of possible ways would be identified based on A, based on the probability asked. So x equals to minimum of A comma n. So A, B and n must be greater than 0. They are the positive integers. Then x is a hypergeometric variate and its distribution of x is called hypergeometric distribution. Look at here, A, B and n are the parameters of hypergeometric. Remember, A, B and n are the parameters of hypergeometric distribution. So A and B we can say it as a positive integers. Complete hypergeometric distribution based on AB, because n random selection is always will be there. So you might have seen binomial distribution also, n will be there always. Okay, only we need to find small p, the possible parameter success. Here I can say A is a success, B is a failure and n is a random sample. So always it is a parameter. So A, B, n are the positive integers, we can say them as a parameters. Now let us see. So look at here, hypergeometric distribution is denoted by like this. You need not write always it's a hypergeometric distribution, like this you need to say. So let us have some examples. Before going to examples, I would like to show you some properties. Now just now I mentioned parameters are A, B and n. So based on these 3 only we have to decide which distribution that x belongs to. Now range 0, 1, 2 and so on, minimum of A comma n. So look at here, mean na by a plus b and variance nab of a plus b minus n by a plus b whole square of a plus b minus 1. So most of the students were having confusion where this n should be written, here or here, numerator or denominator. One small logic I will tell you. Where n it starts, no, at the end there n you put. That's a simple logic. nab of a plus b minus n divided by a plus b whole square of a plus b minus 1. This is variance. You know the standard deviation root of variance. Now limiting form of hypergeometric to binomial we shall see. Earlier we have seen in all the properties of binomial and Poisson, limiting forms: binomial to Poisson, binomial to normal, and then Poisson to binomial, Poisson to normal. Now here hypergeometric to binomial. See, there is a slight kind of observation. Binomial distribution as well as hypergeometric distribution, almost they are quite similar kind of distributions. Only the small changes here, the successive draws, whatever the selection you are taking, they were being categorized into 2 characteristics. So one which possess and one which do not possess, like kind of attribute statements. Okay, see, hypergeometric tends to binomial distribution. When a plus b tends to infinity, that means obviously large. A plus b is very large, then p becomes a by a plus b, or a by a plus b becomes p. Now here if you observe, p will be getting, n is quite natural. So n and p are the which parameters? Parameters of binomial distribution. That's why it is given hypergeometric tends to binomial. Hypergeometric problem can be considered, can be taken, can be solved in binomial distribution also by using these conditions. A plus b is large, then a by a plus b becomes p, then n will be always be there. So binomial distribution parameters n and p. Got it? So look at here examples. I have given many examples so far. Number of boys in a committee when 5 students are selected from 30 boys and 20 girls. Look at here, categories. one is boy and one is girl. 30 boys, 20 girls. Out of these 50, how many are selected? 5 are selected. And in that 5, possibility of getting boys they are asking. Therefore, boy parameter should be taken as A and girl should be taken as B, and this will be N. This is how you need to identify the parameters. Same kind of question here. Number of white balls they are asking in a selection of 4. So 4 selected from white 5, right? So white will become A, black will become B, and this will become N. A, B and N are the parameters of hypergeometric distribution. So I hope you are following it. Now let us have some basic problems. So I need not explain calculations part, just you have a look here. A is given, B is given, N is given. Find variance. I have given you the variance formula. Look at here. NAB of A plus B minus N by A plus B whole square of A plus B minus 1. This is mean NA by A plus B. Where N starts in variance in numerator or denominator, at the end here N. Remember this. So generally people were having confusion where N has to be written, either in numerator or denominator. So I gave you the logical thing. So where N you started in numerator, there at the end N you put over, and the denominator obviously it is 1. This is a formula, guys. Variance equals to this one. So here the problem is given. A is given, B is given, N is given. So find out the variance. Substitute in the formula just now I have shown. You will be getting answer like this. I think you can know. I feel you please note down these problems, or you can solve also, because most of you are having textbooks. Look at this. What it is asked? PMF to be written, as well as find mean. All the 3 are given parameters A, B and N. Substitute in the PMF. Write the PMF by using values 4, 7 and 5. See here how to write the PMF. A is there, no? 4. C. X. B is there, no? 7. 7. C. N is given, no? 5 minus X divided by A plus B. That means 4 plus 7. 11. C. N is 5. This is how you need to write the PMF. And mean. Substitute NA by A plus B. You will be getting this one. Next problem. For a hypergeometric distribution, the parameters are A, B and N. All the 3 are given. Find out its range and standard deviation. Range I said you 0, 1, 2 and so on, minimum of A comma N. Now A is 7, N is 8, which is minimum these two? A, 7. So the range has to be written up to 7. This is how you need to write. Standard deviation, apply variance formula under root, you will be getting this one. Look at this problem. Please note down. Okay. So next question. Question number 98. In a college there are 2100 students. Among them 900 are girls. A computer training center in a city offers free computer training to 5 randomly selected. This 5 randomly selected becomes small n. 2100 total number of students. This becomes capital N, nothing but A plus B. Question is asked about girls. How many girls are given? 900. So this becomes A. So A is 900, B is 1200, because total is 2100. Out of that 900 girls means remaining 1200 are boys. Now A plus B equals to 2100. Obviously it is large. So I said you the limiting form. When A plus B is large, A by A plus B becomes P. So N also will be given, P is given. So N and P are the parameters of binomial. So we can convert this problem into binomial, right? Look at here. In 2 ways I have done. Both directly I have applied hypergeometric as well as limiting form. Look at here. N and P. First I calculated P. A by A plus B. So you will be getting 0.4285. This is P. N is given already 5. So N and P are given directly. Parameters of binomial. What is the mean of binomial? Question is asked about mean and SD. So mean of binomial is by using the limiting form, because a plus b is large. So this is large. Obviously p equals to a by a plus b. So directly if you apply, you will be getting this answer, or else by using by limiting form, same answer you will be getting it. But as per the concept, we have to apply the condition, limiting condition. So a plus b is large, then p equals to this one. Find out n and p. Hypergeometric tends to binomial. Apply mean of binomial and SD of binomial. So mean of binomial is np and SD of binomial is root of np cube. So look at this. In both ways I have calculated. You can have a look. So that's all for today's class. Hope everybody is safe. So kindly apologize me that today I couldn't able to get the marker board. So I have calculated in the book and I have shown this one. I hope you understand. So if you have any doubts, so next class once again I'll revise and continue the main problems in hypergeometric. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.